What is up, Sneeples? I got so many great reviews from the last storytime video I did that I wanted to make another one, but I didn't want to force a storytime video. I wanted a storytime video to come to me. So I didn't want to like just be like, oh, and then like, something super impactful happened and it's like the super minorest of things. And it's like, oh, you just hyped it up. But something actually super impactful happened finally to me, right? And this is has its ups and downs all about it. I win a gold, or we get a gold foil. I didn't win it; I split it. So get a gold foil, lose the gold foil, nearly got robbed. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's all happy endings. Just a little spoiler warning, but let's talk about it because it's a roller coaster. So PQ season is now gone. I literally was able to get the gold foil on the last day of PQ season, but in the beginning of PQ season, I was playing Enigma, Counter Blessings Enigma. I really liked the deck. I felt like it was in a perfect spot that I liked it to be, and that was performing very well. I was able to beat Auroras with it, which is the tough matchup. And I did pretty well. I had a PQ here in Vegas. Brody Spurlock was there randomly, which was, a good and bad thing. Bad because it's like, all right, it's not going to be that easy. I'm really going to have to work for it. But good because, I actually like grew, I don't want to say grew up with Brody because, we didn't know each other like that. But I was there when Brody started playing Fab. And so we know each other, from the early days. And so, we always get along when we see each other. It's always a good time. So it was cool to see a buddy, basically. Yeah, he was playing Viserai and I was playing Enigma. We faced each other in the Swiss, and he beat me. And we faced each other in top 8, and he beat me again. I'm bringing this up because him playing Viserai looked so much fun. And so in my head, I was like, all right, maybe I try Vis because that actually does look fun. So I was kind of thinking about it. The next week we went to Salt Lake. They had a doubleheader, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. I stuck with Enigma at the time just because I still felt really good with it, and I did very well. I made top 8 again. That one had like 6 rounds. There's so many people. I went 5-1, and I was able to top 8 with that. And I was actually the only Enigma there. It's crazy. She's like the best deck in the format. She does have a tough time to the most popular deck, but I still think she is the best deck. Anyhow, so I did top 8 there. I lost to Casanova in the top 8, a pretty well known Lavia player, although he was playing Aurora this time, so I did lose to Aurora. And then the next PQ, it was a limited PQ, so I felt great into it, obviously. I make top 8 there. The top 8 draft was pretty botched. We had 6 Earth and 2 Lightning. And so it was just like, yeah, that's not how it's really supposed to work. That's not how it's really supposed to, a draft supposed to look. So I got eliminated from that as well. But moving on, right? Let's get past the old news. Let's get into the new news. Let's get into where the excitement begins. Okay. So next week, I didn't do anything. I didn't go to any of the events. I was kind of prepping to make the Enigma build I had to beat Dash IO since Dash IO is coming. And then I kind of thought I'm kind of done with Enigma. Not because she's bad. It's just I'm not an illusionist player. Like I can't have like an Oldham poster and be an illusionist player. You know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, she's a thinking, deck. You do have to kind of think with her, but it's just I don't know. Illusionist never really vibed with me, so I was looking to move off of it. And as I mentioned before, Viserai was one of the decks I was looking to play, and I was looking at Viserai, and for some reason, I was just kind of curious what people built out there with Count Your Blessings. I'm not like super into Count Your Blessings, but I do like the card. And I wasn't looking for a Count Your Blessing Viserai build, but what I did find was Count Your Blessing Aurora build. That one with the cash out card. Basically would just make all these items, cash out to make silver, do the Arc Lightning Flicker Wisp combo, and you're just dealing damage for every silver you draw, like anywhere from 3 to 6 damage for each silver, which is insane. And it was really cool. And I was actually vibing with it. And I was thinking, I was like, look, it's a little memey, but I'd have fun with it. Viserai was a little bit the same, except Viserai wasn't Mimi. Viserai actually had a really good chance to win. I mean, there's a reason why Brody plays it, right? Brody isn't the type that's going to play a CYB Aurora deck. He's going to play the deck that he thinks is going to put him in the best spot. So he thinks Viserai is pretty good, and Viserai is pretty good. But it is also fun. So I did want to just go this last PQ and have fun because I didn't really care if I went to London or not, to be honest with you. I really didn't. If it was ProQuest Athens, ProQuest Rome, even if they had another one in Spain or Portugal, all right, I'm grinding. I want that invite. But ProQuest London, I'll have fun. That's fine. I don't need to do this. I'll just go out there and have some fun with it. So, admittedly, I was putting a lot of time in CYB Aurora. I was kind of feeling it, and it was working. That's why I was feeling it. It was working. And why it works is because when you are playing CYB Aurora, your opponent doesn't know that. They see that you're playing Aurora. So they plan to, play an aggressive deck that's going to attack them. They're going to have some D-reacts. They're going to have like other sideboard pieces. And they're not going to expect you to play Count Your Blessings. They're not going to expect you to never attack them. It's going to be a mess. So that's what was happening on Talshar. People would just not see what's coming. They would arsenal a D-react and they would lose their arsenal for the entire game. Now, it works on Talshar because you don't know, right? But on a local level, you can make it work for 1 round. You can maybe make it work for 2 rounds. It may be 3 rounds, but 4 or 5 rounds, everyone knows your deck. Everyone knows you're not the typical Aurora. Everyone knows to take the D-reacts out, put Poison the Well in, and the deck falls apart at that point. So that is where I was with it. That's what was happening with it. When I took CYB Aurora and Viserai and 3 buddies. We all went to Arizona. We went to Phoenix for the last weekend of PQ season. So 4 Las Vegas boys in a car went to Arizona. I took CYB Aurora. I took Viserai. I was ready. Maxwell was one of those, or Staxwell, as you might know him. He was one of those people in the car with us, one of the Las Vegas crew. We have Airbnb in Phoenix, and it looks nice. We get there. It's dark by the time we get there, but it looks nice. On the inside, it looks great. It has the 2 floors. Upper floor is where you sleep. Lower floor, living room, kitchen, big, good table to play some fab on. So we were doing that. And we were doing the testing, and it was not going well because I told him, I was like, y'all, I need you to test as if you know what I'm playing so you can test against it. And yeah, Poison the Well just killed that deck. Now, I don't think Poison the Well is a good card. I'm going to put that out there. I do not believe in Poison the Well, but when you use Poison the Well against a deck that doesn't do anything but one thing and it never attacks you, Poison Well is going to be very good, right? Poison Well into like CYB Enigma, not so good. I guarantee it. That's a whole nother video. But Poison Well into CYB Aurora, yeah, it's actually really, really good. So I could not get a win in. I could not get the combo to go off. So I abandoned the game plan for that. And I was pretty lucky to have Viserai with me because he did do me good for the next day. So I had Viserai. I was like, and in my head, I was like, okay, I'll just do Viserai. It's at this point, it's pretty late. So we're all just headed upstairs to go to bed. I leave all my cards and stuff outside or out on the table because I don't know, maybe I'll get some morning games in. The event doesn't start till 11:30, so I'm an early riser, so maybe get some morning games in. So we all go to bed. Now this is Phoenix, Arizona, and it's on it's upstairs. So it's a desert we're at, and heat rises. So the upper levels where all the bedrooms are hot. So it was cool that I had my own room and my own bed, but it was so hot. They had a big fan, too loud, way too loud. Did not make fan noises, made non-fan noises. So I was like, oh, God, I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight, right? And I'm thinking, like, well, this isn't gonna bode well for tomorrow. It has a window. I decided to open up the window. This is about like 2 a.m. I think we went to bed about 12. Couldn't get to sleep. Tried like watching videos, like ASMR, like could not get to sleep. Open up a window about 2 a.m. Someone's banging on the drums, bro. They're just going at it. I'm just like, what the fuck? Also, there's like cars peeling out and stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was like, this is so muffed, dude. We're not getting any sleep. So I shut the window. I eventually get to sleep at some point, but at like 4:45. So 2 almost 3 hours. Where went to bed at. You hear the doorbell go off. And it's like one of those sing song doorbells, like do 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 do. It's one of those, right? And it is loud. Wakes me up, wakes up everyone else too. And I was just like, what the fuck? Who's at the fucking door? Like, what the fuck's going on? Uh, I'm not going down there to open the door. It ain't my house. I have no form of protection on me. I'm not going down there. Then I hear like maybe like a minute or two later, pop, 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 I'm like, man, dude, not me. I don't know what's going on. Not me. I have my phone on me, because I was like, did one of my buddies go out to like smoke and lock himself out or something? No, phone doesn't say anything. I'm like, dude, not me, man. But then I was like, oh man, like what is going on? I hear the back gate open, and I'm like, fuck, are we getting robbed here? Because I know the front door was locked. I wasn't sure about the back door. And as I mentioned, I left all my cards out. Now, if you're gonna go steal, you're not necessarily gonna get the cards unless you know. And there was bags, so probably they wouldn't take my cards, but they could have. And it's like, well, tomorrow I'm going to be a cheerleader on the side, and that's just hoping that stealing is the only thing that happens, right? Which is probably the case if they did get in, but they didn't get in. Thank God for our buddy Jarek, who noticed that the back door was unlocked and locked it before he went to bed because no one else did. So thank God for him on that one. Turns out he actually did go downstairs and check stuff out, and he did see a car like peel out afterwards. And so it was as real as it got. I mean, I don't, not that I didn't think it was real that someone was, trying to get in, but like, I don't know, it was a little sketch. And I was just like thinking to myself, like, this is a nice house. Like, what the fuck? And then like Section 8 kind of came into my head. It's like maybe this is like government housing, for lower income. Um, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's just it didn't make sense why we're in this nice house and we were getting robbed. But the next day when it's daylight out, I was looking around and I was like, this isn't the best of neighborhoods like I thought it was, because it was dark when we got in there the night before, and I was like, I thought this was a good neighborhood, but maybe not the best. Not like a terrible, but like, getting potentially robbed kind of made sense, I guess. So that was like, I was like, damn, what the fuck? So, anyways, so that was the start of the day. We all talk about that. We get etched out by that. Um, but none of our stuff is taken. We're good. We go to the store from what our buddy Justin. So it's me, Eric. So it's me as Eric, right? If you don't know my name, it's Eric. Justin, Jarek, and Maxwell, which is Stackswell. It's us four. So uh, Justin looks at it and it says it starts at 11:30. So we go to IHOP, and we the plan was to get there by 11 because I had to write a deck sheet out because I switched to this last minute. So I had to write a deck sheet out, and that would be plenty of time. Well, fun fact, it started at 11. It was like 11:10 when we got there. So I'm already late. I'm like jotting this down. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's like lack of sleep. Because like I said, didn't get to sleep. And then like once that whole like breaking experience happened, I was awake for a good while after that. I managed to get a little bit more sleep, but it definitely woke me up and kept me awake. So not great sleep. We're late going into this damn thing. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I see some familiar faces. Alex Vora, which is a pretty known Kano player, is there. He played Acilio. It was kind of cool. Didn't do well, but it was fun to see. He already won his PQ, so he was just having fun. Um, and then like we got Jonah and Jake from Team AGE that was there. So it was cool. It was cool to see like some good players there. Also, Silver Dragon, trading card game store, whatever. Silver Dragon in Phoenix is the best looking store that I've ever been into. It is like D&D themed throughout, and I think that's their main focus first. But they host the card game really well. Every time there's a PQ, we go to that store. They also have mead that they serve at a bar. It's an awesome store. So if you're ever in Phoenix, go to Silver Dragon. That's for damn sure. Anyhow, so we get there late, writing things out, seeing the buddies. They were tolerant with us because they knew us. Thank God. So they were able to wait, send in deck list. Let's get the games going, right? I'm playing Viserai. Let's see how we're doing. All right. Well, I'm not going to go through every matchup. I'm not going to go through everything. I was able to go 4-1. I did lose to Enigma. I beat a Viserai. I beat an Azalea. I beat a Levia. And then in the last round where I had to face Jarek, he was playing new. And we had a battle. I'll go over this one because this one was actually pretty fun. Yeah, this one I had great opening hands, except they were all non-attacks. I had no attack action. It was like Mordred Tide, Revel Runes, Reveler, like Mordred Double Revels. Like, please give me one attack action, just one. Like, if I gotta use boots, I'll use boots. Just give me one. But just couldn't get one. So that like happened like 3 turns in a row. So like the game from the early get-go was like Jarek at 40 with new, right? So he's constantly putting disruption on. And I go all the way to like 18 to 22 range. I don't remember where it was, but it was that low. And I was just like, dude, it is gone. Now, admittedly, we were both 3-1. We were going to make it in top 8 no matter what what happened with this. We're just playing for placing, basically. But I want to win still, right? I was like, gosh, damn. We do overcome that life deficit. We have some pretty good turns against new as Viserai. You should never really expect to have a Mordred Tide turn with 4 cards afterwards. You'd be lucky to have 3 cards after a Mordred Tide. Probably you're looking at 2. But if you have some malefic incantations out, that makes a ton of rune chance and just catches you up. And then Viserai has a nice little trick where he tends to go off with his rune chance when their opponent has red in their hands. And so you get a lot of free damage through. And I think that's what really helped in that matchup. So that is like one of the best matchups I had that day, because it was just such a grindy matchup. And I was so proud to win that matchup. So that was the Swiss rounds going into top 8. Going 4-1 felt pretty good. I was like, hey, you know what? With Viserai, I didn't put as much reps in, but the deck is good enough that it carried me a little bit. And then obviously, I'm not a chum, right? I got some skill in there, so I was able to put some skill forward. I will say, Succumb to Temptation definitely won me the game into Azalea. Yeah, definitely like time walk the Azalea. So Succumb to Temptation, very good. Also, I'll give a shout out to Hall. I really like playing him. He's a fun guy. Okay, now going to top 8. We all make top 8. The Vegas crew makes top 8. All 4 of us. Maxwell's on Aurora. He makes top 8. Justin's on Aurora. He makes top 8. And not only does he make top 8, he went undefeated into top 8, which is awesome because he's a fairly newish player. I think he like came in and parked the Misspell. And so, to go undefeated into top 8, hey, that's pretty sweet. That's awesome. Jarek makes top 8, and then I make top 8. So we all make top 8. It was the perfect top 8 round because despite half of the top 8 being Vegas guys, none of us were playing each other. Which was perfect. That means there was a reality that there could be top 4 Vegas in Phoenix, Arizona. The car team could be top 4. And I was like, okay, if everyone wins their match, we can do it. All right, so Justin and Maxwell on Aurora faced Enigma. They both were facing Enigma. That's great. Great matchups for them. Jarek was facing a Visette, which could go either way just because New banishes cards where maybe Vincett's okay with that. And then I was facing a Dash IE. So, like, the original Dash. Okay. I was a little nervous because, like I said, I didn't put a lot of Viserai reps in. So I was a little nervous on what exactly I was going to need it to do here. I was like texting Brody. I was like, hey, Brody, what do I do against Dash IE? He was like, oh, that you have to really scout that matchup. And I was like, well, I don't know what he's playing. So I had the higher seat. I chose to go first. That was the right decision because he started with a Teklo Pounder, and on his turn one, he played another Teklo Pounder. So he would have had 2 Teklo Pounders turn 0 had he gone first. But yeah, going first was pretty good for me. I think I made like 3 rune chants, and then just Arsenal and pass, and that's I'll take those. Those are great turns. Turn zeros, that is. And then we just kind of go back and forth. Succumb to temptation here won me the game again. I was able to succumb to temptation to take a high octane away, and I really just lowered the power level of his hand for that turn. And unfortunately for him, he was doing the dash thing where you boost your reds and you draw your blues, which is obviously not what you want. So it didn't work out for him. And I was the first one done in top 8. Check. One Vegas guy won. All right. Let's see how the other one's doing. Justin, he finishes pretty shortly after, beats his matchup. Check. Okay. We're killing it. We're killing it. All right. I'm looking over at Jarek facing Vincett with New. And looks like the life totals are getting a little low, but you can really see the Vincett deck go like that, right? Vincett gets fatigued out. Check. Finally, Maxwell, Aurora versus Enigma. It was a little bit of a longer game. The Enigma players thinking a little bit longer, right? Maxwell gets it. Maxwell does good. He gets it. Boom! Top 4 Vegas car ride. I'm stoked. I am absolutely stoked. To be honest, I'm stoked for everyone else, to be quite frank, because I did kind of come in here just to have fun, right? I was literally about to play CYB at War. I wasn't really trying to get an invite here. The gold foil, yes, that would have been nice, but really that was all I was basically playing for. So I was like, whatever. So I was very excited, especially for Justin and Jarek, because I knew this would mean a lot more. Maxwell shared the same sentiment as me. He didn't really want to go to London, so I knew we weren't trying to go. So top 4, the matchup is me versus Justin on Aurora. So Aurora v New. Not very great or Aurora v Viserai, sorry. Not very great for me as Vis, just because it's an aggro matchup, and I think Aurora just does it better. But if Viserai can get enough Mordred and Revel the runes, then it could go my way. And that's exactly what it did. I was able to get a really good, strong start. Just played a good, clean game and just got there. Now, a little caveat to that, though. We discussed prior to this that because me and Maxwell didn't want to go to London, that wasn't like a desire of ours. We asked them, hey, are you guys wanting to go to London? Justin says yes. Jarek confirms with the wife and says yes, they want to go. So we wanted to make sure that if me and Maxwell won, that we both concede so that they can face each other in finals and fight for that invite. And then the agreement was then me and Max would play for the gold foil. That was the agreement. So I go down to 1, being a little risking if he has the lightning press or not. Didn't have the lightning press. I was like, okay. So go to 1, play a really good turn, end it on a Revel into Blade. So 8 rune chants into a Blade. It's pretty good, and it was enough. It would have been enough, and I was like, but the way I went about it, I was like, I'm just wondering if I should swing this Blade, and like kind of showing like I'm about to pitch the card, like kind of going like this to the pitch zone, and I'm giving like Jarek a look. It's like, are you dead here? Because if you're dead here, we need to look at this game to our left, or camera right, I guess, and see how this game's going. Because if Jarek beats Maxwell, then I kill Justin, and then Jarek gets the invite. I get the gold foil. Easy done. But if Maxwell beats Jarek, I guess I don't swing, and then you come at me, and I don't know about blocking. You know what I mean? That was the plan. So I was like, well, let's look at this game. The judge is pretty cool about it. And so we were looking, and Maxwell has a sigil of suffering. He's kind of like, I wonder if this will block it out, and so it's just like, or Jarek's like, yeah, you got me. And so we're like, all right. And then the judge confirmed that we could just concede. We didn't have to do this fucking charade. So, so we just like, all right. Maxwell said, you got it, Jarek. Good game. And I was like, good game, Justin. So they go off into the finals, which was pretty cool. I was stoked for them because they want to go. So I was like, all right, good. Someone's getting what they want. Looked at Maxwell and I was like, I'm totally down to play. I kind of want to watch their game though, because like I said, I was a little bit more proud for them. So I was like riding a high from that. So I kind of wanted to still watch it. It was like, yeah. And then he was like, do you want to split? And I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, but then we'd have to get like someone to sell it and whatnot. And then Jarek reminded us, like, dude, Tyler will buy it. So Tyler is a local of ours, but he has a Gamey TCG. If you ever want to get stuff, like he offers great prices, Gamey TCG. And yeah, he'll buy a gold foil. On top of that, he's a cool motherfucker that'll let us open up a gold foil after buying it. So we still get to open it, and and he'll still buy it no matter where. Like he gave us a price, 500, and then we get to open it, and it's give it away. So we agreed on it. So me and Maxwell got 250. That was cool. And then we got to watch this finals game. It was Aurora with Justin and New with Jarek going at each other, and it was a match that should have been casted because it was so back and forth. So many times I'm like, oh man, Justin's gonna get this, and then I'm like, oh, I guess Jarek's gonna get this, and it really went back and forth. Like there was Oases to save the days, there was Sigil of Solaces to save the days. It was insane. It was great, but in the end, Justin with Aurora took it. So Justin got the win, and it was awesome. So Justin gets the win. We do the whole photo op deal. He gives us the gold foil. We get the gold foil. We open it up, and it was the perfect gold foil. I'll show the video right here.
All right, let's get the big reveal. Rune Blades are just too good.
Luminaris!
Best pricing of like any card game on the pro side.
All right, 9 plus.
Hey!
Oh, fucking Rune Blade, baby!
That's actually sick. So,
that is sick.
All right, perfect. 2 Rune Blade players getting a Rune Blade gold foil. You couldn't ask for it any better way. All right, now it would be the perfect story if it ended there, but we got to talk about something else. So I am the type of person that when I go to somewhere with whatever I'm bringing, I will take it out. Like if I brought my binder, my deck box, a life pad, and a mat, I know that I brought those things. So whenever I leave, I take those things out. If you introduce something new to me that I don't see as like something I brought in, if I don't like, I could basically where I'm getting at is I could leave it, and I've done it before. I could just leave it, and that happened. So we opened the gold foil, and Maxwell's. I gave it to Maxwell. I was like, all right. You hand off Tyler. He's like, I'd rather not touch it. I'd rather not be in charge of it. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Because I was like, oh, it'd be like a little good content for the video, stuff like that, right? And you obviously see I don't have it. But like, I was like, all right, fine, I'll take it, right? So I put it in the sleeve, and I was thinking about putting it back. I was like, I don't want anything to happen to it. I'll just carry it. And if we left right then and there, it would have been perfect. I would have had it, no problem. The only thing is that, like I mentioned before, they had a bar. We were kind of getting celebratory drinks. They had we did a flight of mead, very great mead over there. And I put it down on the table, and then I just forgot about it. Now, here's the deal. I don't forget about a gold foil if the conditions are, if I feel like it's mine. I just didn't really feel like it's mine. I didn't win it, I just split it, right? And then we immediately sold it. So I didn't really feel ownership over it. So I didn't really have it under like, this is mine. Because I've won gold foils and I've gone on flights and be like, okay, yep, this is mine and it's right here. And I'm not putting it in any bag. I'm carrying it the entire way. I've done that. So I do, value gold foils. But yeah, this one was, I just left it, right? Now, Flesh and Blood has an awesome community, and I will always praise that. The fact that that gold foil was there and was returned to the store just tells you how great this community is. Now, my dumbass didn't notice I didn't have the gold foil until we got all the way back in Las Vegas, and I'm looking through my bag and I'm like, wait, did I ever get the gold foil? And I lost so much sleep. So I'm a little tired today because I didn't sleep well the day before. I didn't sleep well the last night here. But now I can make this video with good spirits because we did get a hold of the store owner. They did have the gold foil. It is being shipped to Gamey TCG right now. He'll have his gold foil. We're at peace. So there's a happy ending. So this whole weekend and even the PQ experience season had enough content. I was like, yeah, no, it's a story time video coming. So, and also I appreciate you guys gave me such positive reviews last time. So I like doing these now. So that is my story time video. I appreciate it, guys. And then yeah, until some more content stuff comes up again, I will, see you on the next one. But until then, keep on fabbing.